How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and what if I told you I can help you gear a melee character in under 10 chaos? And teach you how to do it reliably for pretty much any other build. I am going to be showing you today how to gear up a Cyclone character for roughly about 10 chaos. I've been doing this sort of thing on stream for people. I've been not only helping them with builds, but also trying to teach people how to buy effectively, what items to look for, and how to gear up a character very cheaply. This video is going to serve kind of twofold for a couple of different reasons. One, the main reason that I don't really play Trade League myself, and two, how to find some very, very effective items for rather dirt cheap prices. Because the biggest thing about Path of Exile is there is a lot of items in Trade League. And as a result, it kind of invalidates anything you really find off the floor. Because in Solo Self-Found, you can get some fantastic items, like my current chest piece, that's very good life with double resists. And in Trade League, this goes for less than a chaos. So, because of that, in Trade League, you can get characters that are geared for roughly tier 10 to tier 13 in under 15C. Very, very easily. Now, for a template, right now, we're going to be using my Cyclone Berserker that I've been playing in Solo Self-Found. And while I'm not going to be buying the items, like, personally, because I don't play in Trade League, I will be going through and showing you multiple examples and multiple showcases of gear and pieces to buy at a reasonably cheap price. So, since we have 10C, I'm going to kind of break this down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slots to fill, which means I can go for 2C somewhere else if I would like to, or I can break that down into a few different types of currency. I believe I'm going to allot myself, like, if I have to spend like a chance or a jewelers or something like that. I'm sure you can get that quite easily, especially with all of the changes they've made to, the loot that happens now, because you get loot explosions pretty much all the time. Currency isn't really that rare, and as a result, everything's gone up in price because there's so much of it. I got an Exalt on like my 4th day of the league, but still. So, the way I'm going to do that is I have my character in Path of Building, and this is his stat line and his life pool by default. Now, I do have some stats on gear in certain places. I have a necklace with all attributes and all that sort of thing. And I'm going to go through on PoE.trade, and I'm going to gear this character out as I would on a 10C budget. And hopefully I can impart some knowledge to you, and you can take that to start gearing yourself or gear future characters. So, to start off, we're going to aim for a weapon, more than likely. Going for weapon and chest piece is generally the best start. Now, I do have a chaos spare if I want to really push for it, or in future iterations of the series, I might just lop off the 1C and call that, the chance and jeweler and whatnot. But we're going to start with a weapon start. So we're gonna go for generic two-handed weapon, because if I were to dual wield, I could use all the chaos. My ad block's not working, sadly. Such is life. If I was dual wielding, it would be 10C if I was going for both, but I prefer playing two-handers personally because it's easier to make one big weapon, at least for playing Solo Self-Found, than it is to get two specific weapons. So the thing we're going to look for in regards to a big two-handed weapon is as much physical damage as possible. You'll see on here there is a thing for PDPS. This is physical damage per second. You can put in damage numbers, you can put in DPS, it doesn't really matter. PDPS is what people scale by or go off of in regards to what's a big weapon or a good weapon. So we're going to put in, let's start at 500 and let's see what we end up with. Good weapons and good two-handers go for upwards of, about 600 Fizz DPS, roughly around there. So anything we can get around that mark for a good price will be fantastic. So we're looking at two-handed uniques, which is kind of whatever. They're all seeming to be the same unique. So we are not going to opt for that. Let's go for 400 then instead, shall we? Let's go for 400. And one other thing I'm going to do, I'm not really going to go for uniques. Weaponry-wise, I can and I might, because I've already looked through this for weapons, and this is going to bring up Sinvicta's Metal. Now, this is a weapon that I would personally use on my character if it dropped, so this is going to be an option for the character, is to go for a unique weapon. Now, sockets wise, that will cost you a little bit more if you want to really push for a highly socketed item. My recommendation is go for, what is it? The 5-link prophecy is going to be the best thing in the long run because you can choose where it goes. And as a result, you can kind of mix and match for gear, and you don't have to spend it on something you're not going to use later on. So I normally go for the prophecy, but you can normally roll 5 sockets, and if you're pretty lucky, hit 5 links quite cheaply. So Sinvicta's Metal is going to be a very good starting point for a weapon. It's got 86 strength, 86 dex, sorry, which we can manage. We're at 94. This means we're going to need to get a plus 15 all attributes necklace later on. That's pretty easy to sort out. So in regards to a weapon, this is a very good starting point because 417 Fizz DPS. It has attack speed as well, AoE per rampage kills, as well as rampage, which rampage is a really nice thing to have for a cyclone clear speed type of build. So that would be a spectacular option. Now, if we want to go in regards to uniques, keep in mind that's only an AUK, or an alteration. If you want to go in regards to uniques, you might have to choose differently based on what weapon type you're using. My character is built around axes, so choosing Sinvicta's Metal aids me in axes. Alternatively, we can go for Kongor's Undying Terror. This is fantastic as well. It gives us onslaught on crit, but your crits do no extra damage. But it also gives you hits can't be evaded, so you don't have to spec for res tech. That sort of thing can help you build a character. That's 466 Fizz DPS. Now, this could kind of offset you if you're playing a crit build. Obviously, don't go for that type of weapon. Uniques will give you very cheap, powerful alternatives in regards to weaponry. For an AUK here, we can get a Kondo's Pride, which is a fantastic sword as well, pulling in 428 Fizz DPS combined with Bleed Chance. Now, what if you wanted to go for rare items and start to really fish for things? Well, what we do is we leave the 400 in there, and we scroll down and we look for, I haven't done this in a while, I haven't traded, we go to rarity and we go for rare, and we click search, and we see what comes up. This is at the 400 mark, and we can try and fish around for as much as possible. We got a 1C staff pulling in 500 DPS, but only 400 Fizz DPS, because the damage comes from other places. If you're using Brutality, then this wouldn't really be a good pick for you. Let's see what else. We've got a mace at 401 with AoE. That's not bad. Let's see. Staff. There's a sword if you're playing swords at 1C with 400. Let's see if we can push it up farther. There's 3 AUK at 400 for an axe with crafted Fizz. Because of the crafted, it's not really something I want to aim for, because I can craft on other things alternatively, because people don't factor in that the crafts are possible. So what I mean by that is people will see a weapon, at least newer players, will see a weapon with percent Fizz, added Fizz, or like hybrid Fizz and good added Fizz, and not realize they can craft on high percent Fizz and just sell it for like a few C. So you can snipe that and then craft on the high percent Fizz and you're in the money. You've made yourself like a very effective weapon very cheaply. So we're going to leave the rare on down there, and we're going to throw in 500 instead. And we're going to see what we can manage. See if we can get anything at around the 1C mark. That looks like a no bueno. Maybe if I can squeeze in like 450 possibly. I wonder if I can sort by lowest price right now. We'll see. So if we click on Chaos, it'll sort by lowest and highest. And that is no dice. So we're going to go back just a little bit and push it down to 450. See if we can get anything around there. 459, there we go, 450. And we're getting to, we got a weapon here at 458. We got 600 DPS, 465 Fizz DPS. Alright, keep in mind, I kind of need to fish for an axe if I were to go for my character. Mace, there's a 4-4, can't really afford that. That is 2C there, so I could spend the extra chaos. That's not a bad idea, because this, that doesn't have an open suffix, or open prefix, sadly, I don't think, does it? Suffix, oh, is that 2-2? There's no way in hell that's 2-2. If that is, that would be the take. I think that's, oh no, there's hybrid and added Fizz on there. That's actually a really good weapon. That is actually a rather good weapon. I could spend the 2C there. I might. But I will probably just forgo the fact that I'm using axes in this like showcase. Because I think that fits perfectly. But yeah, some kind of axe like this. Well, it's simpler to craft these types of things. Excuse this. I don't know why it's doing this. PoE.trades updating its tech, I suppose. Going for a crafted axe is normally a lot easier. But in this case, I'll just plop in a Sinvictus metal at a rather cheap price of, what was it, like an alteration? Cheaper than that. So we'll go and pop that in here and type in Sinvictus metal. Alright, and that is the weapon sorted. Wonderful. That also gives us Rampage and gives us pretty decent AoE as well as Frenzy charges. So you don't have to go for Frenzy charges through Blood Rage. You can skip out some extra points. Alright, that's the weapon sorted. So let's move on to the chest piece, because that is a piece where you can normally snipe some good deals. Now, I'm not really going to be aiming around links and sockets and that sort of thing, because that will start costing you more down the line. If you want to gear yourself very cheaply, you do kind of have to make some sacrifices in certain places, and sockets are normally where it comes in. So you can use a tabula until you manage to get more fusings or more, or the prophecy. That's what I normally go for. Alternatively, you can just try and roll it with fusings yourself. You can get a 5-link pretty easily. I've normally gotten 5 links in 40 to 60 fuse if I'm having a good day. Alright, so we put in body armor, we put in rare. Now, I was pretty much only planning for like a unique weapon and then opening up the rest of it to just be rare stuff, because I don't want to just skimp out and say, okay, well, we get uniques everywhere, because you don't. That's not what you do, because we need to also cap resists. We also need to get decent life. So the first thing we're going to do is aim for good life everywhere possible. Now, in regards to going for the 1C barrier, we're going to have to make some sacrifices. I normally say no less than like 70 life on a chest piece, which generally is still what I'm going to do. But I'm going to start off roughly around 60 life and see what we wind up with. And then in regards to resists, and then another resist. So we're going to go cold fire here. Now, thankfully, with Path of Building, I can track this and actually see what my resist will look like. So we're going to go for 30-30 and try and find an astral plate base for cheaper, if at all possible. Alright, so 60-30-30 should be good. Rare, of course, on body armor at the top. And let's see what we can squeeze out. There is 65-30-34 at a jeweler's. You see what I mean, right? People are selling stuff extremely cheaply. 84 life, 34-32 at an ALK. That's a steal. That will carry you for a long time, long time. Now, we're going to keep that in mind. But, so I'm just going to click Whisper there. I'm not going to actually Whisper the guy, but it will mark it down for me. So at 1 ALK, I mean, we're not even down a Chaos yet. We're looking for armor base, preferably, if we can. We're still in the ALK territory, keeping an eye out for armor base. There is 2 ALK at 70 life, 30-34. Not as good as the other one, but there is higher armor because of the craft, which is not a bad thing. Armor is always nice, especially now that they've made it valuable again. There's 101, 30, 32, 31 at 2 ALK. I think that's probably the take. That is probably the take, because 101 life is spectacular. 33, 31, 32. If you start going into the tri-res market, you're gonna really burn yourself out fast, because tri-res, any sort of like good sockets and tri-res life, you're gonna go bankrupt pretty quickly. I don't know what the conversion is. I think 2 ALK is a chaos. That's what I'm used to. So in regards to that, I think this is the take. Either this, the first chest piece, or maybe the other armor one that I showed you. This also has crafted fire, so if you want to change this around, you can change the crafted fire to anything you want. You can change it to crafted lightning if you need to, or if you overcap fire, you can craft this to cold lightning or something like that, or fire lightning, and split the resists 15-15 instead on the bench if you need to. So that's probably the one I'm gonna look for, but we're gonna keep an eye out for a couple different things. That's not bad. Does this have the strength suffix? That kind of bricks it a little bit. You could have had triple crafted on there. That would have been really good. Astral plate, money, perfect. 10, 25, 26, and 38, 54. That's give and take. I think that is a steal part. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh no, that's the steal right there. That's a week ago at 2 alk. That is 9% to all res. So that's 9% to cold, lightning, and fire. This is why astral plates are a fucking steal. You can also you can bless orb this to get it up to 12%. So you get 3% resist for free, which is actually a lot in this sort of thing. As well as we get fire and fire cold. So this is 41, 48, and then you're not factoring in the potential of 12 lightning, right? This is why astral plates are a steal and they sell way cheaply. Also, 129 life, some fucking how, at 2 alk. That's what I'm going for. I don't even need to look through the rest of it because I know I would pick this immediately. I know I can divine that chess piece, or I can not divine it. Bless orb the implicit to 12%, and that gives me 3% spare res. So I'm going to put this on my side monitor quickly, and then I'm going to bring up Path of Building, and I'm going to write the item in. So I'm going to go craft, item, body armor, astral plate, and create. And the astral plate is 10%. I can't really change that number exactly, but we have prefix, life. I think it's an armor life. Yeah, it's an armor life combo. So we got life, and then armor life. So max life. We're just going to put it at 129. 129 like so. And then we have suffix, which is fire cold. We have fire at 39. This may take a little longer than you expect, but we'll get there in the end. And then we have cold at 32. Cold, 32. And then the rest of it is pretty much untangible. There's armor, and then fizz damage reduction. You could try and hit an annul on this thing if you really want to like get expensive here. You can try and hit an annul, but if you fuck it up, you're going to be big sad. So I wouldn't recommend. But that is that chess piece sorted. And yeah, you divine that to 12%, and you are very, very in the money. The astral plate giving you the extra 10% to lightning makes your gearing that much easier. So we're what? An alt and 2 alk in, I believe? I need to be writing this down. I actually do need to be writing this down. Hang on, let me open up my spare Discord. I didn't really plan that far ahead, but we'll get there. Video notes. Perfect. We are 1 alteration and 2 alk in out of our 10 chaos. So that is, yeah, I don't even know what the exact calculation is for that, but I'd say the 2 alk is 1c, and then an alteration is like an 1/8 of a chaos or some shit like that. But anyways, that's the chess piece sorted. So that's our 2 biggest contenders dealt with pretty much at a steal. That is a very good chess piece if I could manage to steal that. The other 2 that I looked at were also good contenders. But now the next piece I'm going to look for, we're going to look for helmet, gloves, boots, and then do the jewelry last, because jewelry, you're always kind of fighting for it. There's a lot of jewelry just in general, because most people only pick up like 2 stones and iron rings and that sort of stuff off the floor and just leave everything else. A lot of chess pieces are left just on the ground, because I know from my personal experience, I don't pick up anything outside of jewelry and jewels and currency. So there's a lot of very good jewelry, and because of that, the price gets pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, and people don't know how to price it. You can spend a little bit of extra currency here to try and snipe some good stuff, and I think I'm going to do that. But we're going to get the helmet, gloves, and boots done first. We're going to do gloves first really quickly, because there's a glove base that is spectacular. I don't remember the exact name of them. Spiked. That's what they are. Because these give you 20%, well, 20% on the implicit melee damage. So that'll give us some even more damage on our Cyclone. So we're going to go for the same thing. We can alternatively go for some lightning now. We could go, if we want to be really cheeky, we can go high life, high lightning res, because I think that will sell for a cheaper price, because you're not going for double res. But we are going to go lightning res with max life for sure. And then we are going to put in, let's go for fire, I think. And obviously life we want roughly 60 if we can manage it, 60, 30, 30. Make sure you get in the lightning res because you want to balance it. You want to keep the resist balanced, and that looks a little more expensive than I would like because of the base. Keep that in mind. So if I have to sacrifice the fact of getting melee damage gloves, then I will. But hopefully I can keep these going if I can manage it. So we'll try for lower life instead. That's where max life was. I do not really like it. You have to refill all these, but it's just how it goes. Fire lightning, so that'll be 30. Let's knock this down. Let's go for 30 and then start scaling and looking for life. I can sort by life as well. It's another option that this website gives you, which is great. And here we go. We got 20, 42, 44. This has an open prefix, so you can craft extra life on there. I think, if I'm correct, that's a life armor hybrid, which leaves you open to a life main craft, which would open you up pretty well. We got life double res here at 1C. Not horrible, not horrible. 14 alch, that's a bit expensive. Okay, we're looking to get into the more pricey range. Either of those aren't too bad. If that's set up the way I think it is, and that's a hybrid prefix, then you have two prefixes open and you can craft like plus 50 or plus 60 life from gloves, and you're really in the money, and that's at 1 alch. I don't know necessarily that that's the case. Also strength, by the way. Strength gives you extra max life, so factor that in when you go to buy gear. I don't know entirely that that's the case. I would message the guy, get the item in the trade window, and then I would pin alt on it to read through all the modifiers to double check I was correct. I think either way, this is still got one open prefix, because even if it's life and armor, then it's got an open prefix. But that means you can't craft life. You have to craft hybrid on it, and it's not as good. So in that case, I would go looking. Otherwise, this is pretty good as well. Obviously, you want more life if you can get it, but increased melee damage, plus strength, plus max life, and then plus the res we're looking for. Since we're trying to skimp and get extra increased melee damage, that would be a good case for upping your damage if you're trying to look for that. But we're probably not going to get to go for that luxury, so we're going to cut out searching for specific base and just see what we can land. So we're going to go for the life again, and then go for fire res again. So we're at 30, 30, 30, and then we're going to take a look and see what we can steal here. Okay, keep in mind we are going for, what is it? We're going for armor bases if we can, because armor gives us more mitigation than anything else would. You can get fizz to attacks on gloves as well for damage builds, so that is going to have a massive effect. I'm not going to be looking at uniques anymore, by the way. Uniques are possible as well. You could play like a Facebreaker Cyclone build, in which case you buy a Facebreakers and you can skimp out on the weapon. You literally don't need a weapon. You just go for a shield instead. Like, there's all those sorts of things. I can't really cover everything, but if this series, like, if this video goes well and people enjoy it, I can do it for other types of builds, or maybe whatever's meta in the league if you guys want something like that. I don't know. Let me know down below. Let me know if you're even this far in, or if you stop at like 7 minutes, but still. Alright. Moving forward, so we're going to be fishing for the armor base. There's the gloves we found earlier. If that's the way I said they were, I'd buy them. If not, and that's suffix, or if that's prefix, then that's not as good. Still good, but not as good. Alright, we are on the 1C budget, keep that in mind. That's not great because that's rather low max life. I do kind of want to just click max life and try and get as much as I can, but I doubt that's going to get me anywhere. We have 37, 42, 40. Not the worst, not the worst. Keep in mind we want over like 50 life if I can manage it. 40, 30, 35. I'm not eyeing the resists at all. I'm just eyeing the life as I'm looking through these, because the life is all that matters to me. Strength dex is also kind of fine. This isn't bad. This is not bad at all. 66 life. The chaos res is useful if you want to make a breach farming character for whatever reason. The rarity is quite nice as well. That gives you a bit of extra added rarity. These aren't too bad because they give you fizz to attacks if you're fishing for that, trying to get more damage out of things. But that gives you a nice amount of life there. that gives you a decent amount of life, and you're getting the fizz to attacks. This is kind of the base that I'm looking for here, the Goliath gloves. These ones aren't too great, but they're not entirely horrible. So we're gonna mark this. We're gonna mark that one. Because at 1C, that's not too bad. That probably would be replaced later on with higher life, possibly, or maybe trying to fish for a bit higher res. All in all, those are pretty good and pretty safe. If you like the safe pick that'll last you a while, those will do that. Let's see if we can snipe anything a little bit better, though. Looking for life, 58, 50, 45, 44, and 30, 36, 59. With fire to attacks. If that was fizz to attacks, that would be sold instantly. 57, 38, 38. That's pretty good. Those are an option. If you're playing a ranger, those aren't bad either. Let's see what else we've got on the table. We're still in the 1C territory, by the way. That's what's so insane about this. Fizz to attacks, life on hit. That's pretty good as well if you find yourself dying. 62 life. And okay, if that lightning to attacks is fizz. Gotta keep an eye out, by the way, in case you buy a corrupted item. That's not a good idea for very many reasons. I assume you probably already know why, but you can't change the sockets. This is enchanted. This is actually a nice steal. Crafted doesn't really help you too much, but the enchant kind of nice. Also, this is 4 days ago. You could maybe cut him down to an alk, and he might sell you. I can do an entire other video on like bartering. If you guys want something like that as well. So now we're getting up to 2C, because I can, like 2C items, you can barter someone down to 1C very easily. You just tell him just 1C, and he'll probably still sell you it. I do have the spare chaos available. Oh, that's corrupted. See, that's what I was looking for, right? That's got fizz to attacks, that's got life, res, but it's fucking corrupted. And it's intelligence based. Also kind of sucks, but yeah. So aside from my 10 out of 10 bartering skills that would get 2C items down to 1, which just by asking, you know, you message him and then say 1C following, and if he trades you, he trades you. If not, fucking next guy or buy for 2C. But I think we're gonna go for the pair up here. Armor base is pretty good. That's not bad. We'll mark that in case I miss the other one. I don't mind this either. This isn't that bad. I'm not a big fan of crafted life, but it gets there in the end. You can recraft higher if you really need to. What was the other one that I clicked Whisper on, or was looking at? Those ones aren't bad. Did I click Whisper? I don't fucking remember. I might not have. I might not have. Armor flat with life gain on each hit. Those are pretty good. Lightning. I don't think I did. Oh no, I did. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna go for those. Those are probably the safest piece. Those are armor evasion. If you really want armor, like you're stacking armor or whatever reason, you're playing like a brass dome or some stupid fucking shenanigans, then that's not bad if that's something you want to aim for. So let's plop those in here. And I don't know if I want to split this into 2 videos because this may take a while. But yeah, I think I might split it. We'll see. Okay, we're going to put gloves in. So we go to gloves. We want armor evasion. They are Dragon Scale, which aren't fucking here. Hang on a second. I'll put Armor Energy Shield. I am actually horrible. Dragon Scale. There we go. And then we want Life. Bam. We want 49 life. Roughly right there. We want Fizz to attacks. We want 5 to 10 Fizz to attacks. And there we go. That's actually top roll Fizz to attacks. God damn, that's pretty good. Suffix, fire res. Bam. We want 37. 37. And then suffix, lightning resist. Ah, shit, I'm looking at the wrong item. I'm fucking garbage. Okay, 66 max life for starters. This is what happens when I like look at the wrong monitor. Fire res, 43. The item's just getting better. Okay, and then there's rarity, lightning, and chaos res. So we got lightning, which is what, 35? 35. 35. And then suffix chaos res, because fucking sure, why not? It's there. Stops you from getting one shot, I suppose. And then we got rarity on the top here. Rarity is at 10%. Alright. And that is that piece. Wonderful. So our life is getting up there now. The resists are getting sorted. Now, the biggest thing about going through this way and doing helmet, boots, gloves, and chest piece first is if you get your resist cap, you can then go for damage in the rings and the amulets. Because a lot of unique amulets and a lot of unique rings start piling on damage very quickly. Alternatively, if you're playing a melee build or you're playing face breakers or just any form of melee build, you can opt for steel rings in this place. That will start costing you more and more money. But jewelry is generally either the best place to fill stats you're missing or to fill as much damage as possible. And since we go for the rest first, we can opt for that afterwards. So that is one more chaos down, 1 C spent. And we shall do one more item for this episode, and then I think I'll split it into 2 parts, because otherwise it's going to be an hour-long video. To which I'm fine with making, but I get more viewer retention if I split it in half, so that's just how it goes. You gotta start thinking YouTube-wise, right? Such is life. But we're going to go for helmet next, and we can see what we can come up with. So let's go back, and go to type helmet. Bam. Now we're going to look for armor bases if we can. I don't think there's any actual bases. There is one that would be good. Bone helmet gives you minion damage. Why is that good? There's a node on the skill tree, which I don't have on this character, but spiritual aid makes all your minion bonuses apply to you, so you can make your bone helmet actually make you do extra damage. It's an old gimmick that I used last league to make my melee characters better, pre-rework. You don't really need to use it anymore because melee characters are good enough as is now. But if you still want to opt for as much damage on a rare as you can, that'll do it for you. Keep in mind, there are also crafts you can push for later on, like area damage and that sort of stuff that goes on helmets. I'm not really factoring in crafts into the gear. I am partially for like open prefix for life, but there are places you can get extra damage, like fist attacks on the gloves for a craft. Alright, helmet. Now we can look for... We can go back to fire cold now if we really want to. Actually, for this episode, we're not going to do gloves. We're not going to do gloves here. We'll do gloves on the next one. Reason being, there's a pair of boots that I want to show you. So we'll go for boots, and then we're going to go for... Where are they? Two-toned. Bam. Now, these are boots with resists on them. So they give you double res. It's basically like a pair of... the fuck's the word I'm looking for? It's like Astral Plate, but boots instead. So because of that, you can skimp out even more and get your resist capped that much easier. The only downside is that I'm like the fucking cat doing the praying meme, you know? The only downside is that you are missing out on armor because it's an evasion ES base, I think. I'm pretty sure. But we're going to go for fire cold, I believe. Yeah, we're going to go for fire cold. And now I'm going to put these up because it'll factor in the implicit into what I'm looking for. So it'll be like 10% on the implicit and then 14 underneath it if I put it at 30. So we're going to go for life and then we're going to go for cold here. And we're going to go like 50, 40. So that'll give me 10%, 10%, 40, mathematically, hopefully. And then we're going to search and see what two tones we hit. And there's 2C at 75, 51, 54. I might just buy those. I might just cough up the extra C right here, actually. Because we got fire cold, 2C. This might be where I cough up the extra chaos. This is where we start to get more expensive, pushing downwards. Honestly, I think I use it here. I think I use my one allotted C here. I think it would be these. I'm pretty sure it would be those. I'm going to keep this open because those are fucking good. And I would try to buy either of these, if I'm entirely honest. You can also, if you want an even better deal, you can look and mix and match the resist types. So you can look for high life, you can look for like high life and then fire cold. And if fire cold turns up as like 5C, You can go high life, lightning, fire. High life, lightning, cold, right? High life, I just covered all the options, didn't I? Fire, lightning, etc., etc. And each combo could be differently priced, could have different options, because you can't search for all three. Because if you put in minimum one, then it's going to give you tri-res life items. You can't see all three without going through all three. So I'll show you another alternative. I'll do the same thing again, as I'm very fucking white. But we're going to go base, boots. And then we're going to go for two-toned again, like so. And we are going to go back to mods, max life, and then we're going to go lightning, cold. Lightning and cold. And then we're going to go 50, 50, 50, 40. And we're going to see what lightning cold looks like so. And we're going to see lightning cold costs a little more. So we're going to know that we can't do lightning cold. Alright, what about fire lightning? Let's see what's in regards to fire lightning instead. We got max life, and then we got lightning. So we got fire lightning at 50, 50, 40. And we'll see what we wind up with. So we go search, the Surge 2. This is basically Dark Souls with robots that beat your fucking ass. And you see fire lightning costs even more. So now you can go back and you can lower the price if you want to. Well, high. You can lower the price down, or not price, you can lower the resist number down if you want to. Alternatively, you can switch around the resist types. Fire cold seems to yield the best results for me. And I think I'm going to spend the extra C just on this item. But you can lower down the life total or the resist total as well if you want to, because it is going to factor in the implicits on the top. So because of that, you can go for like 40-40 and you'll still end up with like plus 12 and potentially something good here, down here. But yeah, I think I'm going to spend the extra chaos that I had spare here on these boots and call it an episode, most likely, because that is 75, 42, 39 with 12 implicit. So I'm going to put that into Path of Building. We're going to see what we wind up with at the end of the first half of this. And then when I come back, which is probably going to be like a day or two after this episode goes out, I'm going to record it back to back and kill my fucking throat, but ignore that factor. We shall do the other half. We can do helmet, amulet, rings, and belt. Best part about rings is I can buy them both on the same page. But yeah, those boots are just like way too fucking good. So we're going to go craft item. We're going to go for armor evasion. And then I need to look for fucking shoes for starters. And boots, armor evasion, two-toned. It's like it knows. And it's going to go 10%. We're going to have to factor in the 2 because I can't put it up farther, which kind of sucks. Prefix, we have maximum life at 75. Keep in mind, it's also sorted very specifically. Like here, I'll show you. So in regards to this item, keep in mind that's hybrid, right? So this could be hybrid plus flat life. If that's the case, then that's still not bad. But if that somehow is just like flat life, then you can also craft hybrid on it, and you're even better off. Now, otherwise, if this is just a prefix, and it's just like prefix armor evasion, prefix rarity, and then prefix life, that kind of sucks, but you have a suffix open. That suffix, you can craft these into tri-res. I just fucking realized that. Because there's a suffix open, because prefix, suffix, you can craft 45% lightning res on this fucking thing. That's tri-res 75 life boots at 2C. And they've been on for 2 weeks. You message this man 1C, he'll sell to you next day. Next fucking day delivery. This man's Amazon out here, I swear. Like, you can craft suffix lightning res, and he didn't realize that. That's a steal. That's a fucking steal. You know, I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put that craft in. Let me know if you don't want me to write the craft in. But, I mean, I'm going to record the next one afterwards, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to write that craft in, because I would make that craft anyways with spare currency. You can make a lightning craft at like 25. You know, let's fucking find out. Hold on. Let's find out how much it would cost. Let's put in, I can't use mine, but let's go for, what is it? We need a lightning res. So an alch, one alteration gives you 20 res. So as opposed to going for like a high res, we're gonna put in a low crafting cost. We'll put in 20 lightning res, just for shits and giggles to showcase. Because I would put that craft on myself as high as possible. So we've got prefix with armor evasion percent of 38. 38. I'll just put fucking 36. That part doesn't matter. And then we have rarity 10%. Rarity of 10%. Then we have suffix fire at 42. 42, like so. And then we have cold. We have cold 39. Wabam. And keep in mind, this isn't even me getting streamer RNG and finding shit, right? That's a different argument altogether. This is me literally looking at the trade shop of what you can buy. These are items available to everyone in Path of Exile right now. And you can buy it off this guy if I don't steal it. Or if I... In these episodes, I'm showing items that literally could be bought. I could go buy them. I just don't play in that fucking league. But, like, anyone can get these sorts of things. It's not that difficult. You just look on PoE.trade, looking through the right way, and you'll find deals. Very, very easily, because people don't know... It's not like real-life economy. People don't know what to price shit at. And if you do, you've been playing for a very long time. Because of that, you can get some fantastic steals very, very cheaply. So we'll put in the 20 lightning res here, because we're sniping it for the craft. We'll call it 15, because... We'll call it 17, because you can hit anywhere in between. And that's the shoes. That's the shoes. And that's capped fire res, so we don't have to go for fire res anymore. We're actually overcapped on fire. We just need cold and lightning, which we can sort in the helmet very easily, and then we pick up a bit of spare, probably on the either abyssal belt or the leather belt that I'll be going for later on, and we can cap this very easily, and then we push the rings as far possible forward in double steel with double fist attacks, and then we're really in the money. But that's going to be in the next episode, because I'm going to take a small break, because I need to be able to breathe before I, burn out my throat and I'm not able to stream tomorrow. But yeah, let me know your opinion on this series, or this thing, I suppose. I don't know. I'm going to split it into 2 episodes, so the next one will probably be in a day or 2, because I'm going for like every second day is a video. I might even put them out together. We'll see. We'll see about that one. But yeah. Let me know your opinions down below. Let me know if you want me to do this for like the meta builds that come out. It may wear down eventually if I just keep telling you the same information every single time. But, I mean, it's effective and it works. I've geared out half of a character that works very effectively. But, yeah. Let me know your opinions and your thoughts down below, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care, gentlemen.